To COVID now, and a closer look at those do-it-yourself tests that you take at home. They're growing in popularity as people take advantage of free handouts from the federal and state government.
But there's also a lot of talk that they may not be as accurate as the lab versions given at drive-thrus and doctors' clinics. KRDO News Channel 13's Cindy Santafanti spoke with a medical professional tonight to separate fact from fiction when it comes to testing accuracy. Cindy.
Bart Mallory, the director of laboratory services here at UC Health, tells me that when it comes to COVID testing, PCR test is the gold standard. Now, just for reference, that's typically the kind that you take at doctor's offices or at drive-through clinics. And here's why.
You've likely read the accounts online, or it's happened to someone you know. They test negative for COVID after using an at-home kit, only to test positive after following up with a lab test. But are the home tests to blame, or is it something about the new Omicron variant?
If you have a negative test, you need to still be cautious, especially if your symptoms are continuing or getting worse. You really should seek out a PCR test to confirm whether or not you for sure have COVID.
Rob Welch with UC Health says a negative result from a rapid antigen test might not be reliable, especially with Omicron. Even the U.S. Food, Drug, and Administration published a statement in late December that says, quote, early data suggests that antigen tests do detect the Omicron variant, but may have reduced sensitivity, end quote. So why is this?
I mean, whenever you look at the Binax test, it's an antigen test, right? So it's depending on a certain level of antigen being produced for it to be detectable on that test. When you're talking about PCR, that stands for polymerase chain reaction. And so what you have is you're amplifying a little bit of DNA and you're amplifying it over and over and over again until you get it to a quantity where you can actually detect it.
Welch says this is why those in the medical field consider PCR tests the gold standard, because they go through a series of lab sequences to get the most accurate results, regardless of the variant type. And there's another debate emerging when it comes to Omicron and home test kits. Some early research shows you may get more reliable results by swabbing your throat instead of your nasal passages.
There's a lot of debate about that, just like you said, about where is this infection in your body. And so historically, that's been in the nasopharyngeal area. And so the nasal swab has been the gold standard. There is now some concern that are we seeing this colonize a little bit more in the oral cavity? And so, you know, we've done some research on it right now. We haven't seen anything compelling at this point to want us to switch from doing the nasal swab, which is the gold standard, and moving into the oral swab. But it's something that we're closely monitoring.
Now, Welch says the bottom line is this. Testing of any kind is helpful, but especially to make sure that you monitor any sign of COVID. But again, the only way to get definite results, either positive or negative, is through a PCR or lab test. For now, we're live in Colorado Springs. I'm Cindy Santafanti for KRDO News Channel 13.